Hi Graham, this is Gustavo Alcarde, and this is the first video I recorded with the Camtasia Studio that I just installed. So in this first video I intend to show you what's the current status of the mesh that I am modeling, what I believe is difficult to do, and perhaps you can give me some more advices, and also try to show you what's my approach when modeling. Perhaps there is something wrong, something you want to give me a tip in how to proceed, and so on. So this is the door trim mesh here, and this is how I progress so far. I think it's worth to just explain how I came to this surface so far. So as you remember, I modeled the first of the top surfaces, and here before it was one surface, but I just found it was useful to cut the surface here, the trim actually, so I could take benefit of more CVs on this area that I use to improve the transition right before this fillet here. And here is the same, and just nearby the handle I found it very useful to cut the surface and crown it a little bit more nearby the fillet, so I could get a better transition here. So that's why I use for surface here. Okay, let me show you how it is so far. I believe you saw it already, but I'll show you anyway. So my tessellator is faster because I don't have a very powerful computer. So here, let's change it for a while so you can see better. Okay, let's reduce the edge length. Okay, here. You can see here it's not very smooth. It still needs to improve, but I think it's close to what the mesh requires. And here later on there's gonna be a fillet, so I don't worry about having a tangent break here. It's kind of intentional here. And here, okay, let me show you. So this part of the model I did later on, but my criteria was that, okay, here, okay, let me hide the surface for a while. Okay, so you can just see the mesh. Okay, so it's not a single transition surface from this IP feature to this fillet. It's actually two, so I tried to do the same on my model. So here on this red area where actually is the fillet, I use a tangent surface. You can see here it's a drafted surface, but it's a tangent surface, not perpendicular. So I just forgot to say, if you hear some baby crying in the background, that's my daughter, so I hope you don't mind. I still don't have a private room for modeling. I have to deal with these noises. Okay. So here you can see what I did actually. So this is the parent surface. This is the first transition. Let me hide the mesh for a while. Here, okay. And then here you see another transition. Why this is not showing? Oh, okay, it doesn't matter. So what I will do later on is just reduce the amount of surface here. We don't need the small patches here. I just created by the alias itself, so it needs a little direct modeling later on. Okay. Another area of this model I would like to mention is regarding the middle surface here. So here you remember the first attempt I tried to use curves projected on this surface, but I found it really difficult to get exactly the right surface. I believe maybe because it's a small area to place the curves. So I ended creating some planes and modeling it to the mesh, and before it was a multi-span surface, so In order to keep everything single span, I first modeled the multi-span, of course, and got it close to the mesh, to fit the tolerance, and then I trimmed actually in the middle. So it gave me a good patch layout, I think. Yeah, here you can see. Perhaps those CVs are on this surface a little bit overworked, I don't know. But anyway, you can see the zebra's flaws move. Even if I use ISO angle, we can see it's okay. And here, before it was a surface, the same CV layout of this one, just in curvature, but I already converted it. I already trimmed it. So why I did it? Because it's given me more CVs to work on these transitions. It's easy to align the transition on surface here. So let me try delete the locators. Yes. Let me do something here because I used a lot of dynamic section tools and I didn't clean it, so it's really a mess. I think that's it. Oh, didn't work. Why? Let me clean it. Curvature. Oh, no, I don't want it. Why? Oh, yeah. It's not actually dynamic section. Okay. My fault. Oh, now it's off. Controls off. Okay, so now we can see better. Well, another area I think it's good to mention is how I built the armrest. I found this surface a little trick. Is not finished yet actually. I think I found a way to build it. Okay, let me take it out for a while. So, okay, and okay. Here. So I started out with the surface here, the parent surface, and I modeled it then as close as possible to the mesh. This parent surface here is not actually an offset of this, because I think they are not really an offset. Instead, they are new surfaces I built over the mesh. And how did I create this feature here? Actually, I used the helper surface. Where are they? Okay, layer from my helper surface. Yes, here is another email coming. Okay. No. Here. So here you can see I use this helper surface to align that rounded surface you saw, and I aligned with tangent here. So let me pick the surface for a while. It's actually a freeform blend I made from this parent surface to the helper surface. Okay, here you can see better. So I twisted this surface, and my criteria to twist that was the mesh itself. I mean, here you can see. Yep. Here. Let me take my shelf. Here, deviation fine. Okay. Oh, here. I try and get this surface as green as possible. Here you can see some areas. Okay, it's out of tolerance later, but I think these stripes are rated because the quality of the clay. I don't know, but I got I think a close surface, and I did this by aligning with the helper surface. I think it's easy to do and you have more control than just use move CV all the time. And, I mean, the CVs can get the CV layout can get wrong, so I think it's very helpful to use the surface. Now I'm using this more than before. Well, it's really useful too. Okay, that's pretty much for the first part. This is the first test video, so I will see now if the result was good. And see you on the next video. Thank you.